Hello and welcome back to the Linux Panic YouTube channel. In this video we're going to be installing Lutris on an Ubuntu system. So let's get into it. Now you're probably wondering, why Lutris? You've done this before, Nick. Well, I have done this before, but the issue is people have been having issues with installing it and it doesn't appear to be working. So I want to make a follow-up video and just clear a few things up and just try and get things working. Now I would like to thank the users Discord Script 62 for mentioning that they have been having issues installing it, as well as Athantas as well. I will leave a link to their YouTube pages in the description below as a little thank you for doing this. So, what is Lutris? Lutris is a bit of software that is designed for playing games from across the ages, anywhere going back as far as DOS games all the way up to the most recent games, and a way of installing them and running them on various Linux systems. So let's go get my install script. Now you're probably wondering, why an install script? It's not just an install script, it is also a uninstall script as well, because I've included an uninstall script in the description, in the repository. Now as you can see here, I've been a bit busy making it. And what we have here is we have an install script and an uninstall script, as well as just a little preamble. So let's start off by grabbing it through wget. If I remember correctly, I also need to install wget because wget does not come installed as standard for Ubuntu, which is not surprising. Well, it is installed, so that's good. So first things first, we want to do git clone even to install git. As we can see, it's installed. So git clone https://github.com/. This will of course also be in the description. And Nick Matthews 1. I did not mean to do that. So then Lutris. And what this will give us is the Lutris file. We can do cd here as well as have a look at it. Lutris, and then we'll come here and just have a side-by-side comparison. So all that is here is a Ubuntu Lutris installed and Ubuntu Lutris uninstall. Now, as part of the course, if you're going to be installing something, you want to uninstall the previous version, so we will run the uninstall script. Now, to run the uninstall script, we need to give it executable powers, and we can do that with chmod +x Ubuntu Lutris uninstalled sh, and we'll also give executable powers to the installer. So chmod +x Ubuntu install sh, and we will now uninstall. So first things first, we want to make this look a bit bigger. So we want to do sudo because it's removing. So sudo /Ubuntu Lutris uninstall. To quickly mute that, because even though I've done it, it does not like it. And what this will do, this will uninstall any package called Lutris, as well as update your system. It will update your system, uninstall Lutris, and then update your system again. If you wanted to prevent it from doing so, you could set that. You could go into the file and change it. As we can see here, this is just updating the system. And it's also doing some wine changes as well, because wine got yet another update. But the purpose of this is to ensure that your system is up to date before and after, to ensure you're not missing anything out. Again, this is for peace of mind for you, so you know it is going to work. It is also recommended that after you install a package, you do run another update as a force of habit to make sure it's actually going to work. So whilst we wait for this to finish installing, we're just going to return in a moment. So now that this is finished installing, as we can see here, it says warning, ignoring requests to remove Lutris, which isn't installed, which is good. Now, if this was installed, it would say, hey, look, I'm uninstalling it, because we said we gave it sudo. But now that we've done this, what we want to do is we want to do sudo /Ubuntu Lutris install.sh, and I'll show you what's in it first. So we'll do tail sudo tail Help if I could spell, wouldn't it? Okay, but we'll just do nano ubuntu install. So I'll just show you off what's here. It's just this. This is the wget link directly from GitHub for this deb. It then installs it, and then we're good to go. Now, this is specific for this. If Lutris releases a new version, I'll release a new version of the script and rename this one. But for now, we just want to do sudo or superuser do /ubuntu lutris installed sh. And what we'll do here is it will give us it will update the system, upgrade it, download and install Lutris, which, as we can see, it has done. And errors encountered while processing Lutris. This was expected. Processing unmet dependencies. So, because this is the first time actually installing anything other than NeoFetch and Chrome, it's going to throw a few errors, which is expected. So we can do that with sudo apt fix broken install. Again, this was expected. We'll say yes, let it do what it needs to do, because this is a fresh system. This is also an expected outcome. This could happen if you're installing Lutris for the first time, or reinstalling, or whatever you're doing. This is a potential outcome, so it is worth keeping a note of it. So now that we've done that, if we try to run the installer again, this will then get us across the line. As we can see here, it's going through, downloading, installing, and it's now not throwing any errors this time around, which is a good thing. Now, we will find out in a moment, once it's finished running through, if it's going to throw any errors. As we can see, this now appears to be working. It wants us to get rid of some kernel headers, which we're not going to do. So if we now do Lutris, as we can see here, we now have Lutris installed. Missing Vulkan libraries, that's fine. This gives us the opportunity to actually go through and install the Vulkan libraries, which we can do. Now, because what we haven't done is we haven't enabled the i386 architecture, or 32-bit architecture, it is expecting to throw some. But in this case, what we can do here, because it gives us what we would like, is we can just come here, copy this, paste it. Oh, I said copy. Get rid of all of this, because thank you very much, Lutris. Thank you very much, Ubuntu. Paste it in. And then this will then let us install the things we need to make sure that it will run. I mean, Lutris will still run anyway, but it's just saying, I don't like this. So we'll get it to run. It'll check for any updates it needs to do. This does happen every so often where Lutris push out an update and it'll go, hey, look, do you want to do the do? Do you want to do the update? Which, in some cases, you can. But in this case, it's just going through checking. It depends on your connection to the internet as well as your connection to the Lutris servers and how long it's going to take to do the runtime updates. On my system, on the host system for this, it often just does it instantly. But in this case, it's just a sitting and waiting, because it's also the first time it's ran. We've got to sit and wait for it, so we will return once it... Oh, never mind, beat me to it. As we can see here, the About Lutris, the version is 5.13, the most up-to-date version of Lutris. Now, as we can see here, there are sources: Lutris, GOG, Epic, Origin, and Ubuntu, Ubisoft Connect. These are places you can get your games from. Oh, sorry. And the reason why there is a Lutris source is so you can then get an installer from Lutris directly. So if we were to go to lutris.com. Oh, hang on, I stand corrected. It's not .com. Yep, Lutris.net. That's why there's a .net and a .com. Two different sites. But you can then choose from the many hundreds of thousands of entries on Lutris, and then pick a game. So if you decided you wanted to play Quantum of Solace, you could just select Quantum of Solace and then choose an installer. It's Nintendo Wii, DS, and PS2 and PS3. So let's just say install the Nintendo DS version. This will then ask Lutris, hey look, can you get me missing Vulkan libraries? That's fine, don't worry about it. And then we can just install, go through the process. If it's on Lutris, if it's on the Lutris website, it will run. You can then download it and get it to run. This is just getting what appears to be RetroArch to be able to run it, because some games require another to run, but in this case we don't have the ROM file, but that's fine. Continue. We don't have the ROM file, don't worry about it. But in this case, this is installed. It's now up to you if you want to decide to get your services. I have successfully ran Anno 1800 through Lutris, as well as a few other games. I would recommend using Lutris for all of your gaming needs. If you are running stuff outside of Epic Games, if you're using Epic Games, I would recommend the Heroic Game Launcher, because that's a separate one designed specifically for Epic Games and not everything else. Everything from Nintendo, the NES system, all the way up to modern day, all the way up to PCSX3. I think that's how you say it. But in this case, this is all installed and working, and off to the races. I would like to thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you disliked the video, hit the dislike button. Maybe consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell. They'll help. Leave a comment, drive the algorithm. Tell YouTube that yes, you don't like the content. Anyway, when you use Linux, don't panic. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.